seen cannot love God whom they have not seen. The commandment we have from him is this: those who love God must love their brothers and sisters also.
So we show our love for God by loving each other. And we show our love for God whom we cannot see through our love for our brothers and sisters whom we can see. And John goes so far here as to say, if we say we love God, but don't love our brother or sister, then we're liars because we don't really love God. So while in Star Trek 3, the crew of the Enterprise owes this debt, we might call it a debt of love, to Spock because he's the one who saved them, the Bible calls us to live out this debt of love to all of those around us with that same kind of sacrificial love with which God loves us. That's how we give back the love that we owe God. And that is difficult. So what might this kind of costly love for our neighbor look like? Well, it could look like speaking up at a staff meeting and saying that while your company's proposed actions take into account profits and gains, they ignore costs in terms of human impact, and that that's not acceptable. Or it could look like being at a party and not only refusing to laugh at jokes that dehumanize other people, but pointing out that they're not actually funny. Or it could look like consistently living below your financial means, so that you're able to give as much as you can to your brothers and sisters in need, either here in Hamilton or around the world. Or it could look like considering which way you're going to vote, not only in terms of what will benefit you, but in what will benefit the most vulnerable members of our society. Or it could look like all of those and more, right? The ways we live out our love for God may vary from person to person, but that love will also always be the same. It will always focus on the other instead of ourselves, focusing on the needs of others before our own. It will always be costly, often costing us things that we didn't think that we could live without. And it will always reflect and spring from that costly love with which God loves us. To do less than that would be to be ungrateful. But to embrace that calling is to be